All right, welcome. This is LuZoCast, episode 4. Real quick, spoilers. So
Everything.
So yeah, exactly. So mostly Game of Thrones, X-Men, Age of Apocalypse, Flash and Green Arrow season finales. So lots of stuff like that. So if you haven't seen any of that stuff or anything in pop culture recently, don't even watch it. Just don't even watch it because it's probably not relevant to you.
Don't want to watch.
But yeah, so this is episode 4. My name is Krishna. Why don't we just go around real quick and get everyone's names?
I'm Arjuna. Hello. This is I'm actually in person this time.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
this is the
welcome back.
first one of these
Hello,
that we've
world.
streamed live that we haven't had you either
As you
where
can
we've
see,
drawn on your face or
I have crazy hair in reality, so.
Yeah, somehow.
much less crazy than the hair that we drew on you
That's
many
true.
times
You're
the
not
first
wrong.
time. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch. I'm Sarah. This is Robbie. There
Hello.
you go. Not
Sorry.
paying attention.
Yeah.
Not paying attention.
No, he's running technical.
And
things.
hello to anyone who's listening and not watching.
Oh, right, yeah. So
Hi guys.
So we just watched. That was episode 6, I believe, of Game of Thrones. Very interesting episode. A lot of information, I think, was thrown at us, and that was the easy way to tell because I think 5 minutes after the episode,
I was confused.
we had 1,000,001 questions about what was going on, which were all, I didn't really know all the details.
Can we change the format on how we watch and allow people to pause and ask questions during the episode? or would that take 3-4 hours of
Well, we might
you're
need to
supposed
push back our live LuZoCast.
I think you're supposed to write down your questions and we address them later.
Yeah, to be honest, because if you have questions, guaranteed people looking at us right now or listening to us have questions, so we could save it for this little.
What are White Walkers?
No,
That's a pretty big question right there.
Man.
Why is it always got to be white with you?
Yeah.
Why you gotta be a racist, all of you?
We're all black when the lights go out.
Okay. Oh yeah. So
Anyway.
So I got a real quick question. Maybe just start this little segment real quick. Let's just go around and just let's say real quick, what was the biggest thing that you took from the episode? For me, let's start with Sarah because I
sorry.
think she knows the most. So.
No, I don't say I know the most. I will never say that.
Well,
But
out of us.
I've just the reveal that everyone has speculated and suspected, and I say everyone, especially the people that have been reading the books as long or longer than I have. It's finally official, at least as far as the show goes. There's a character in the books that they never brought up called Cold Hands. That is the character that was just revealed today, finally, and it's Benjen Stark. That was never actually brought out in the books, and never officially said, and everyone speculated, and we all hoped. But as sure as you say, yes, that is that person, then, George R. Martin's going to say, no, it's not. And now he's dead. So, Benjen Stark is Cold Hands.
Yeah.
And to actually hear the story of how he was saved by the children of the forest, and so that's how he's able to, fight them and do what he does.
That's what that explanation was. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. So, I was a
so question
little
1
lost.
from Krishna.
Yeah, I was a little lost there. He was explaining some stuff, and I was like,
Well,
I'm so
he
he's
went out on
kinda-
arranging and never came back.
Right.
And so
So he's like a kind of a undeady,
I guess.
zombie.
He looks pale, that's for sure.
Well, he had
Yeah.
the kind of little skeleton-y
Well,
thingies.
to be fair, in the north there's no sun, so his skin will naturally lose color pigments. So
sun.
is he really a zombie or is it
yeah, but
just
did you
lack
see
of
his
sun?
face? No, he had your skin's kind of going away, peeling
starting to
off.
peel.
You're a
It's
zombie.
decomposed
You're
a
dying.
bit. Well, here's-
Decomposing. Thank you. Words.
Here's my next question. So if he's been, my question is when. So he must have died probably pretty soon after he left in season 1. So why did he never return to the wall? Why didn't he go to Bran earlier when they made it past the wall? I'm just kind of interested to see what happens or the questions there.
Yep.
If I may.
Of course.
As we know from Hollywood, when you're different, don't go home.
Well, I was
Pretty
gonna
simple.
say.
Oh,
I
man,
mean,
that's
to be
pretty simple.
honest,
That's actually not a bad.
but kind
bad
of
point.
exactly on that line. If they had seen what they had seen, if they hadn't been through the things they'd been through, would you believe him?
Yeah, absolutely not.
Oh, I'm back. Hey guys, I've been gone for 6 years and I'm kind of a zombie, and there are children of the forest and White Walkers and all of this that to this point has been just spoken of in dreams.
But I mean, he's been
all these are your children's stories to scare you. So like, what are you going to go tell people? This is all real, but I have no proof. What's up?
But he's been. I'm assuming he hasn't been dead for like 6 seasons. He probably came back as soon as he died, right?
Right.
So I'm just wondering what has he been up to in all that time? Why wasn't he there like when they were attacked at first? Anyway, and all that type.
Do I hear a spin-off HBO?
Oh God! Please God! Please no!
Fear the Walking Benjamin. Sorry.
But so I do have a question geared towards Sarah that might help maybe answer that. What is Cold Hands, that character? What does he do in the books?
The same thing he did. He at some point he saves Bran, and I think earlier on in the story actually he saves Bran and Mira and Jojen.
Gotcha.
But he doesn't reveal himself. I don't think they...
That was last week, man.
We're done holding the door. Poor Hodor, may he rest in peace. Whatever.
Pieces.
Oh, hopefully, and not as a White Walker, or not as a zombie Hodor.
Oh, man.
Can you imagine zombie Hodor? Hodor.
Remember Shane comes back?
Wait.
Hodor. Sorry.
Yeah, you remember Shane comes
Yeah,
back?
but
it's
he
like,
comes back
so
for
maybe-
30 seconds. and-
Yeah, exactly. That'll be Hodor pull a Shane.
Yeah, but hold on. If that was so deeply instilled in him, if he came back as a zombie, wouldn't he still go and try and kill them? The zombies? Like, hold the door? Yeah. Wouldn't he still protect? I mean, that was so deeply ingrained. Anyway, I think that's probably nothing we're ever going to get. Let's just go with a Hodor did not survive.
Well,
let's just go with it for now.
In reality, technically, we all survived.
Yeah. So Ravi, what did you take? What was the biggest thing that you took from that episode?
Silence.
Did you? Yeah. Anything? What jumped out at you?
Do you want me to go? Do you want me to go?
I passed the torch.
Sure. So I mean, besides that, I think what was kind of what sticks out to me right now is what's happening with Arya in terms of not going ahead and killing the actress, and now we're kind of seeing now this is the second time she's disobeyed the faceless men. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. It's kind of hinted that it's going to be Arya versus that other girl from Doctor Who, by the way, a Christmas special like 2-3 years ago.
Yes.
I don't know what her name is.
I can't honestly remember, but I do remember her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see kind of what happens there. And I think, Sarah, like you said during the episode, that's kind of where the last book ended.
I think so. I'm totally digging it because I've been waiting for that too. Right. I think I said previously, the storylines that aren't quite done, like the book, we still had some book storyline for a couple of characters, a couple of things, which was the Ironborn, which we didn't even see anything of this week, so but by Iron Islands, but the Kingsmoot and all of that, and the Arya storyline is that those hadn't fully, like we were still kind of in book storyline for those. So I've kind of been waiting. I was afraid they were not gonna like do that and make her, basically she said, screw you guys, I'm a Stark. I'm going to go get my sword, and I'm going to wait, and I hope she kills that girl. I know it's so wrong, but that girl is evil.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really likes her.
She just her.
She's
the best character.
Well played actress. Well done. But, yeah, if we don't like your character, you must be doing something right, because we're not supposed to like her character.
Joffrey, Ramsay, that girl.
Ned Stark.
Oh,
he was a saint.
Horse hunting.
Hey, he was in a lot of this episode in those really cool montages.
The weird montage flashbacks of brands.
Those were actually really cool.
They
those
are
really,
from an editing
Hey, editor guy, how do you feel about them?
They gave me a seizure.
Perfect. They did this job. I think
they did their job. Yeah.
I like them a lot.
They make me want to go back and take a picture because I'm not allowed to download the episode HBO. So I have to take a picture with a camera on a TV screen.
Oh yes, I see.
Staying keeping it legal.
Yeah.
So my favorite part.
Yeah. Oh, we got one. So while Robbie's still thinking, I do have a question about the Arya thing, real quick.
You're pointing me.
Yes. Well, because I'm just like, you will know, but
I might
or anyone.
not.
So at the end, I think Ravi, at the end of the episode, Ravi asked. So when she's in that dungeon, polishing off her sword or getting ready to practice, is that where she's been training all this time? Did she return there? Is that like her?
No, I think that's her That's her room at
the Faceless Men's place.
in the
right?
House of Black and White.
where
That's
she's been...
where the Faceless Men are. That's her room.
Yeah.
Remember, before she went in there, because he told her she had to get rid of Arya Stark. She had to lose that and not be that person because she is just a girl, and a girl has no family, a girl has no name, a girl has no whatever, right?
Yeah.
So in order to do that, she was supposed to get rid of those things and not do what she did, which was hide them under a stone, remember where they are.
Right. She did that
never let
early
go.
season 5.
Yeah, she never let go of herself, which she's a Stark. She's not going to. Like, the character is too strong. She's basically, at this point, I feel like she's learned things she needed to learn about living on her own, about surviving, about doing what she needed to do, even more so than she was able to while she was traveling through the Seven Kingdoms. And at this point, she knows that she failed the second time, and so she just has to prepare because she knows that girl. It's one thing for Jaqen he may or may not try to eliminate her. I would think he's got a soft spot for her. I feel.
Yeah.
But he also can't back off of his word, and he told that other girl whose name she has no name. A girl has no name. So,
right. That's
Nameless girl number 2.
She's a not a priestess, but she's a something of the House of Black and White, like an acolyte or something. Yeah. So the acolyte, he promised her she could have her, I guess.
So I'm wondering this. I'm wondering if there's some kind of reversal coming where what's his name? The guy who's been training her. He doesn't have a name, does he? Oh, wait, he doesn't.
Well, he always went by. Remember, he was Sirio Farrell.
Yeah.
Who trained her how to fight
It's not
with a sword.
confirmed that it was him, though. But people assume it was.
You make the assumption that it
not
was
sure.
because of the way he speaks.
Wait, back up. The guy...
Is it the same actor?
It's not the same.
No.
So
okay, fine.
Yeah,
possibly not.
That's
a
a very
theory.
strong theory.
Ignore me.
Yeah.
Wait.
But-
But back up to the theory, because the guy that taught her at King's Landing...
Yes.
Yeah.
But he died.
I thought that was a different guy, yeah.
It's not confirmed.
Did he die? We never actually saw him die.
Pretty sure he gets the sword going...
Nope.
you
Never
don't
saw
see
him
him
die.
No.
You see him, he tells her to run, and he turns around to fight.
Oh, that's yeah.
So what? The theory is
I'm not
that
sure.
he's still
That
kicking
he
it?
is the faceless man. That he is
Well,
Jaqen H'ghar.
Well, before his possible end of demise, who was he in King's Landing? Just some
Sirio
guy?
Farrell. He was a...
Sword trainer. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
So why would an assassin faceless man be a sword trainer? In
He is
King's
whatever he
Landing?
needs to be.
Right.
Yeah,
So he
whatever
was
role.
there for something to do something.
But I was just wondering if you think back to the early relationship between those two characters, like when they're being captured.
Jaqen and Arya. Yeah.
I just wonder if there's some kind of reversal where he really doesn't want her to become a girl, and so
Oh, he doesn't...
he's like testing her in a way where
He
he's
doesn't
like,
want her to become a faceless.
exactly.
He just wants to help train her.
wants her to stay
But he-
Arya, but become extremely mentally strong. And I wonder if there's like some kind of reversal coming where perhaps he's saying, no, this girl's gonna go after her, and Arya's gonna be like, like, you're ready.
Like she's gonna rain down on that girl.
Yeah.
I'm ready to see that happen because she's got to. That girl's just gonna.
She's got.
I kind of like
She's
I
gonna
kind of
regret
like
it.
that.
Wait,
I like that thought.
psychopath girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the weird.
You just
because
want. Yeah.
the thing that gets me is in the House of Black and White, you're not supposed to. Basically, they're as we talked about, they're hired assassins, and as he said, it's not for her to question. It's not for them to question. They're supposed to, like, whether or not they're supposed to do it or who's right, who's wrong, kind of thing. They're hired for these jobs. Essentially, is kind of how that seems to come about. That's how it's implied by him when he says, "Don't question it."
Right.
So this girl, while Arya questions it and says, "I don't want to do that," or she's like, she realizes this person's good and doesn't deserve to die, or whatever, or good-ish. While she cares about it too much, maybe in that way. The other girl, she's got a bone to pick. If she were truly an acolyte and truly kind of emotionless in this,
She wouldn't take it so personally.
I don't think she would have such a... She has a real vendetta against Arya.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's also,
Yeah, for sure. They've
Either
all
way.
shown. The three of them have all shown some type of emotion, which doesn't
Or attachment.
Yeah.
Of course, of some
They are
type.
definitely not
Do you,
Vulcan.
do you think they do other jobs besides like assassinating? Like, hey, I need
Well-
my...
Well, you saw him cutting off the guy's face, right?
No, but that's what they also do.
Surgery,
though.
plastic
No,
surgery.
When it's their time to
Thought it was
die, or they want to die, they go see them and they drink of the fountain.
That's right.
So they
showed
also
that
perform
last season.
a service to an extent. I guess you would call it assisted suicide.
So then every death
That's
is then offered to their god, right?
Yeah.
Is that kind of how it was? So that's pretty
I
interesting.
think
So they
so.
kill
I would
people, you
say
don't
so.
ask questions, and it's like an offering.
How is their god related to the fire god of doom?
I don't know that there's a
Yeah, that's pretty
relation. I mean, if you
interesting,
look
yeah.
at it kind of like,
Oh, okay. Actually, that's a good segue.
I mean-
Speaking of gods, that would be my. That's the part that sticks out the most. There we
Yeah.
go. It
Which
finally stuck in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tommen.
Tommen.
And
Yeah.
you know the
Tommen
Pope
and
buddies.
the High Sparrow.
Right.
The
Have
High
you seen this?
Sparrow.
There's a picture flying out there where it's a comparison of the High Sparrow and it's Pope Francis, right?
The Pope, the current Pope.
The current Pope, and they're like,
I think it's Francis.
and they're like, do you notice a similarity?
Yeah.
Living in poverty, and it's like, oh, wait a second.
I don't know if you could say the Pope. lives in
I don't
poverty.
know.
No, it's a joke,
Yeah.
obviously, but still.
It's like an old guy.
hilarious.
They look similar.
Yeah.
So yeah, to the point of now the church and the crown are completely intertwined.
Yeah, so that was gonna be my thing. That thing that really stuck out with me too is that. So when I saw last week's episode, or the preview for this week's,
Right.
and we saw the army, and then the church, the sparrows, I was like, totally, there's gonna be this like class war, like poor versus the military and the rich, and that totally didn't happen. And potentially, what did happen was more dangerous for those people trying to instigate it all.
Right.
So
Well, actually, hold on.
Mhm.
Let's back up a second. Let's, like, the High Sparrow, right? What has he done by uniting the crown and his people? You kind of saw it but regardless of his power, right? As of right now, the people in King's Landing are happy with the crown, which, from what I understand, that hasn't happened yet, right? They've been pretty ticked off with the crown.
That's true.
For a while.
Now,
But the problem is
Was happy.
the problem is not really they don't care about the people. That's been the problem with King's Landing the whole time. It's about who controls the power, and it hasn't been really since Robert died.
Right.
It's been always like a kid of incest, right? So it's been Cersei and her people that's been controlling it, and then the Tyrells were kind of trying to take over control.
Right.
And now none of those people have control, and that's what they're not happy about.
I understand they're not happy, but who cares about them?
Well,
I'm
they're the
saying
point of
the
view.
High Sparrow. I'm saying the High Sparrow, right?
Yeah.
Right now, the show, in general, is pointing him in a bad light. But like, if you take away the show putting him in a bad light, doing these terrible things to the
rich people,
to the rich people,
the privileged,
right?
Yeah.
He's uniting this kingdom.
sure, yeah.
I mean, he's the type of guy we should have for office right now. I mean,
Lord.
he's bringing the people together.
So I mean, so
That's an interesting way of looking at it.
Right.
And
It
maybe you
is
should
interesting. So
you might have to keep that in mind
because you
going
view the show obviously from these point of view characters
Right.
of Cersei
But
and
what-
Jaime, and they
and I-
see him as bad.
Right, but I
you're
think-
right.
right.
He's really not that horrible comparatively to them, right? In terms of what they've
Right.
done.
Which is a massive
Right.
thing of what they've done. They've made
Exactly.
us sympathize with
They made us
kind of
sympathize
horrible people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
That's what makes
Yeah.
the show amazing.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
rooting for the bad guys. We're
Yeah,
like secretly
and
like,
we
yeah,
didn't
Jamie,
know
go
Yeah.
kill those people.
And then the next
you're
time
like,
we turn
what-
around and we're
wait.
like, I hate Cersei, but I really hate the spirit. Like,
Yeah.
But you don't there's not a ton to really.
But is that a bigger problem with like our
Society?
moral judgment? Is
Oh.
that
Well, it all started
No.
with.
not even.
It
No.
all started with
that's our second podcast
with the show.
Morality.
Well,
No.
it started with Breaking Bad, right? I mean, that was the probably one of the characters that went really, really bad, and you still kind of rooted for him throughout. So.
I look at it as just like art done really well. When you
Yeah.
can get you have a mission, you set out. Now I want people to sympathize with psycho killers or a meth creator / distributor.
For sure.
And the fact that they get you to sympathize with them and then take and see the world through their perspective, to the exclusion of actually good people. I mean, that's impressive. But I think, but you bring up a good point. Hopefully at some point though we do remember what these people have done, and I'm sure it's coming back. Well, I'm sure it will be
but
reminded.
in retrospect, you make someone walk through the town naked. Big whoop. I mean, the Lannisters.
It
The
brings
Lannisters pushing
shame.
big
whoop.
Yeah, but yeah.
The
it
Lannisters
brings-
In
pushing
comparison,
kid out of
yeah,
I mean,
you're
in
not wrong.
retrospect.
No, yeah,
I see what you're saying.
Certainly,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
certainly
As
not
far as
wrong.
they're concerned, it brings shame upon the crown, and that's the thing, is that as the ruling class, they have to maintain their image, and that's the biggest thing
Mom and
about
Dad.
Oh,
Oh, Mom and Dad are watching.
hello, parents. Hold on. I want to say something real quickly to like completely separate from everything. If anyone happens to be watching this on YouTube right now,
Yes.
there is a way to chat. If you have questions or you want to bring up a point
Ah,
and chat
yes.
with us, please throw that in. We're keeping an eye on it. We'll talk about it.
Here's a great question. Wouldn't I look better with a beard?
Yeah.
No.
Are you gonna cut your hair at all?
Well, eventually,
No.
once we've filmed a couple things, and I can. So.
All right. Well,
Continuity, guys.
Nah.
All right, so
Yeah.
so something else that we haven't touched on yet is the Riverlands. We've got
Yeah, so that
grumpy,
was
angry
confusing.
Walder Frey. That was confusing.
Yeah,
well, it's
because
true.
you
we
lose
haven't-
track of like the characters.
Right, we
So now they
haven't-
come back, you're like, wait.
Yes, I'm very confused
Okay.
about all the islands and the sea and the castle
And the rivers.
and the Lannisters and the Tyrells and,
Okay,
and
so
the other
everything-
people and that guy over there who's from Harry Potter and I'm not done. And
Wait, who's from Harry
and
Potter?
then Sulky Face comes in at the
Walder
end.
Frey.
Walder Frey.
Oh, that's right, Filch. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
He's
sorry.
built,
I didn't.
exactly.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
aren't used to him
Sulky
without.
face. Sulky face.
You aren't
yeah.
used to.
Yeah.
You aren't used to him without the cat.
Yeah, exactly.
Mrs. Norris.
Oh, he's so
The Riverlands. We've
So
not
weird.
seen Walder Frey. We've talked of him a little bit because his wife or his daughter was married to Roose Bolton. All of now dead, I'm assuming, unless they kept Walda alive and torturing her.
Also,
because-
another guy that was in Doctor Who.
Yes.
Who?
So-
Wait, who?
Walder
Wait,
Frey.
Yeah, he was. He was
Really?
in
In the
another
stupid
Christmas-
dinosaur episode.
Oh, I thought he was in a Christmas episode.
No,
too.
it was that dinosaur. No, and then
No,
they
different
also.
guy.
Yeah.
Never mind. I was thinking of a different one. So,
Sorry, right.
Walder Frey.
Sorry, Christian. Doctor Who is
We-
a show about time travel.
Krishna does not watch Doctor Who. we
Blue
all give
boxes.
him grief about it.
I've seen a couple episodes.
British people.
So,
Biscuits.
hello.
And
Tea and crumpets.
So anyway,
Sorry, go ahead.
the Tullys, the Freys, the Riverlands, right? So Walder Frey is mad because, just to kind of clarify things if you've forgotten, Walder Frey is obviously upset because Brendan Tully, the Blackfish, who was Catelyn Stark's uncle, Edmure Tully's father, or uncle as well,
Right.
he escaped the Red Wedding. I don't know if they even captured him at all, if he escaped immediately. I'm trying to remember, but I think he escaped immediately from the Red Wedding, and we haven't seen him since. He has now taken back River Run Castle, which was Edmure and Edmure's castle actually. Edmure Tully, who married the Frey at the Red Wedding, right? He's taken that castle back. He's mustering the troops. He is basically going to go and take out Walder Frey because Walder Frey took out Robb and everyone. They still have Edmure hostage, which it seems they're going to use to try and break the Blackfish. I think that's kind of where we stand with that. There's not.
And then
Oh,
something
and
with the
Jaime's about
land,
to go,
and Jaime,
yeah.
and right, the land. I think that's the big thing.
Tommen's
right, that
getting him
he's
out of
gonna-
King's Landing.
Why do the Lannisters want it? They used to have
Because
it?
technically Walder Frey, they are on the side of Walder Frey, and they're going to always be against the Tullys because the Tullys are with the Starks, and the Starks are the North, and they're trying to basically they want to take over everything again.
Yeah. Just know there's some political.
Right over the head.
So basically, viewers, there's going to be a big
listeners.
battle.
Oh yeah, episode 9. There's gonna be like 8 battles going on at once. And
I know.
Everyone's gonna die.
Well,
And
the
then
next
episode
one.
10 will be wrap up.
Well, wait,
Right?
4 more episodes, right?
Yeah,
after
we've
this?
still
Yeah,
got a
yeah.
couple before your big battles happen.
We've
Yeah,
only got
no,
two.
And
We've only got
also-
2 episodes before the battles.
Also, well, in the next episode thing, it showed Jaime talking to the
great.
Blackfish, so they're already going to get there.
But more importantly,
I
it
know.
showed my favorite character with
Uh-oh.
Jaime, Bronn.
Oh, that's right.
Well,
Bronn
no,
is
we
in-
saw Bronn in the
Juna had a-
background. They
Juna-
weren't even talking.
I don't
No,
care.
he'll be
He
in
was
it.
still there.
Juna has a little bit of a crush on Bronn.
Do you know how hard it is to not see Bronn for 6 episodes?
So many
Wait,
ways.
have we- so
many
really
direct
All right,
scene
he
to go
hasn't
wrong.
been in this
No.
season, no.
I don't know.
Not
What
since
about,
they got back.
what about
Well,
Redbeard?
Yeah.
Redbeard's a
That's the thing
good
about-
character.
Oh yeah.
What?
Oh, what's his name? Thorin? No.
Thorin?
Yeah, I know. That's
I'm
from
sorry.
Hobbit.
The Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
The Giant's Bane.
Hey guys, what if we've been muted this whole time?
Nope, the
I-
light is red. Which means mute.
No.
Not again.
You know he did a commercial recently?
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Wait,
yeah, I
he
saw
did?
that. I
Wait,
saw
the
it.
guy-
What, was it a credit card commercial?
Yeah, it was weird.
With a beard?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was really
Torment.
good. I liked
That's why I
it.
couldn't think of it. Torment.
Torment. There we go.
Yeah, I got
Not
Thorin
Thorin.
stuck in my head,
Yeah.
and I couldn't think.
Thorin.
Torment Giant
Chris, he looks
Bane.
like he could be a Thorin.
Okay, so he's he's a little too tall to be a dwarf.
Yeah.
He's part giant.
I know.
Is he
Which is
really?
the point. Well, they call him the Giant's Bane. So allegedly is somewhere in his
We'd like to play the program called Call Up the Giants Game.
Oh, cancel. All right.
Thanks, Alexa.
We have Alexa, and she
Those are
apparently
the
thought we were talking to her. Cancel.
Do you guys remember?
Get the program.
Oh my God.
To be fair,
Worse
we
than
will
the
unplug
cat.
her
I
next
know
time.
this is.
We're putting Alexa.
Alexa,
in
stop.
there next time.
This is worse. Do you guys remember that
Somebody
Disney
go unplug
Channel
her.
movie with
Smart House.
With a smart house?
Smart House.
Yeah,
That was a movie
scary.
called Smart House. That's pretty.
Oh yeah! Did you guys know actually? Just to do a little bit of a throwback, all the classic Disney Channel original movies.
They were on
they're
this
doing
weekend.
a marathon.
Yeah,
This
for
week?
Memorial Day weekend.
We,
Yeah.
when we were at Disney, we were watching a couple of them.
Some of them are so good. So
High School Musical too.
No,
Oh,
okay.
geez.
no,
So,
no.
so actually, so
no.
getting back on topic real
Yes,
quick.
thank you.
Was there anything else from Game
That's
of
what I was
Thrones?
trying
Did
to
we
think
hit
of.
all the four major?
We didn't hit Daenerys. Drogon
Oh,
is
yeah.
back, and she did what
The
she
dragon.
does so well. Drogon is the big
Oh,
black
right.
dragon.
Yeah.
So,
Sounds like Drogo.
She did what she does so well, which is basically the call to arms. Like she inspires people to follow her, and she's very obviously of the blood of kings. Like that's just like there's something about her. She
Yeah.
can just whip them up into a frenzy and make them want to go basically
She promises.
throw their lives.
Yeah.
You know,
promises
at-
this
at
war,
her.
land. They're all set. They're like,
Yeah.
yes, we're in. We're with
she's
you.
basically
She's a conqueror.
a politician.
All right. So anyway,
in a ways.
what else did we miss? Did we miss? I feel
What
like
other
there's-
storyline?
Oh, Samwell Tarly and
Oh,
his
man.
dad,
That
who's
was
the
pretty-
biggest jerk in the world.
What a jerk.
Hey, he's bald. I like him.
Gotta
No,
say,
you don't.
that's the most awkward dinner I've seen since Dinner Party of Office.
Yes.
I was gonna say the red wedding, but sure, okay.
No, the red wedding wasn't
sip.
awkward.
awkward.
The red wedding wasn't awkward, just deadly.
But no,
But
you
The
don't
Office,
remember. Whoa,
the
back
dinner
up.
party
You
episode?
remember that when you watched the red wedding, like it felt awkward. I mean, at
No.
least for you book viewers, you knew it was coming.
Well, that's not the scene itself though, and we weren't awkward. We knew what was coming.
That's
It
To
was
an extent.
shocking, but it wasn't awful.
It wasn't
I would
shocking
say
for
it was
me,
a
but it was
little
shocking for most people. But yes, agreed. The Office. Yes.
yeah.
Um,
But no, the big thing I think the takeaway from Sam, right? Yeah, Sam's
Samuel.
abusive, crazy father. The sword, right? That's Valyrian steel.
Mm-hmm.
So you can take that and be like, "Yo, White Walker."
that's the only other thing.
Our mother just chimed in with a text. She said, "Mom loved this episode. She felt bad for Sam, but she loved, like you just said, that he stole the sword."
Yeah,
I think that
because
was Mom's
okay,
favorite
so the
part.
thing is, and I think
That's the big point,
I
right?
think they kind of brought it up. Most of the a lot of the old houses. I won't even say a lot. A few of the old houses have Valyrian steel swords.
Right.
The magic to work these swords is no longer known to man. So these swords can kind of, to an extent, be reforged to like they can put new hilts on them, like they did with John's. They can kind of reforge them,
Well,
but
that's
they
what
can't
happened with,
make any more. So what's there is there.
Wait, so is
there are no
John's,
more to
John's
make.
sword is gone, right?
No, John's got
he
his.
still has it. No, but
well,
that
he gave it to.
But that's the big connection.
But that's
there.
what happened
His
with.
sword is Valyrian
But that's
steel.
what happened with Ned's sword, right? They
No.
melted it down and
Yeah, and they gave it
made
to-
it into two different swords, and they
Yeah.
gave one to
One is Oathkeeper,
yeah,
which is with Brienne.
right.
Oh,
And
whoa!
the-
I didn't know that.
Well,
That's right.
Jamie
I totally
gave it to
missed
her.
that. Yeah,
Jamie
yeah.
gave it to her and said, "Keep your oath, keep your promise, and go find the."
So
find
that sword,
Caitlyn's."
could potentially have some use against the White Walk.
Right. So the only two substances known to kill White Walkers are the Valyrian steel sword, or the Valyrian steel and dragon glass, which is essentially obsidian.
Right.
Dragon
Right.
farts.
Dragon farts could
Make the
potentially,
glass.
though. Then so that's going to be like a more mass killing of the zombies, right? Of the White Walkers and the zombies. Dragon farts.
Dragon farts.
They're like crop dust over all the zombies.
You think the fire would do it? No, it's that farts. You heard it here
I
first.
fly.
Oh my! Didn't hear it? I fly. I'm flying.
Only in Dothraki.
And down go the White Walkers. Oh man.
That's so wrong.
Another one bites the dust.
So let's
But yes.
wrap up. Yeah, let's wrap up there
Yes.
real quick. Did I think we hit most of those points?
Yeah, I think we covered. I'm trying to think.
Like a lot happened, but it wasn't like too many different things
Yeah,
happening. So
for
that's
sure.
so that's
and
good.
and it's nice that there wasn't another really big emotional moment that was sad like last week's.
Don't even say his name.
Willis.
Ooh,
Aw.
very good, very good.
Wait, didn't you have something about Willis?
Oh no! I saw this on Twitter. The question was, and I thought it was a good question. Why did people stop calling him Willis? And
After
Sarah
he
kind of
said
explained
something.
this because from the book,
Pretty much once he started saying Hodor and only saying Hodor.
He only responded.
That's all he said, responded to anything. That was what he answered. As you saw, that's what he answered to. If you ask him a question, it was always just Hodor.
So
It kind of just, it's like taking on a nickname and people forget to use your real name because that's your nickname and that's what you
So
saw.
it wasn't instant over time.
Yeah.
I one thing I guess let's bring last week, for like if it's all right, real quick.
Yeah, real quick.
Did Hodor know about holding the door when he had a seizure way back then? Like, was that instilled in his mind that at some point he has to hold a door, or was it more just a brain aneurysm or stroke or whatever, and it's just that word?
I feel like it was instilled in him because he did. He held the door. Like he was finally there at that point. That was like his purpose. Unintentionally, but was his purpose through most of his life.
I've watched the scene a few times, and it kind of seems to me when he's holding the door, he's like more with his brain. So it's almost like he was kind of teleported. Think of like X-Men: Days of Future Past with like Wolverine's mind teleporting between the different timelines of his body, right? So
when he starts freaking out,
so like it's the Wolverine of that time because the future timeline is like left, and then it was that one, and then he was returned to like 2016 or whatever. So it's almost like Willis's mind was basically transported from being however old he was, like an 11, 12-year-old boy, to that moment where he's holding the door. And that's the theory.
It's like it finally, like he finally served his purpose, and now he's no longer held in that imprint, that whatever.
I have a feeling while we wrap up right now for Game of Thrones, that is, Hodor is such an impactful moment. We're probably going to be mentioning that for the rest of the season in some capacity. So
I'm done.
No, you think you're done.
You
but you're
can't
not.
be done
Trust
with
me.
Hodor.
All right, so I think let's wrap that up and let's move on. Actually, it's funny that you mentioned X-Men: Days of Future Past because it seems like half of us saw X-Men: Age of Apocalypse.
Line's been drawn.
And the line is right here.
We are the half that saw X-Men Apocalypse.
Me and Arjuna are going to see it, but Arjuna's already read all the spoilers. I don't mind learning about spoilers.
So let's just point out, we warned them.
If you want to see the movie and not have any spoilers, I guess shut it off right now. But
don't listen, don't watch.
I would say, guys, what was your impressions of it?
Okay, it was actually fun to watch.
Yeah.
I know it got such crappy reviews and whatever. I don't personally. I'm one to say I don't care what Rotten Tomatoes or critics or whatever say. If I want to watch a movie, I want to watch a movie, and I'm a big X-Men fan.
Absolutely.
From a comic book fan standpoint, at least the imagery and watching it was kind of like reading a comic book. Like the storyline was. There's not. I don't know. It wasn't real heavy into the plot and the backstory, but the action was there.
So a Zack Snyder movie?
I'm sorry. You said you've already read all the spoilers and stuff, right?
I
know mostly
go ahead.
Are you sure?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
There are no spoilers whatsoever.
The reveal of the Phoenix Force was awesome.
Phoenix Force?
The Phoenix, the Dark Phoenix, of her realizing.
There was that.
Of her realizing the Phoenix power.
That's not really a big, and I feel like that's not even a big spoiler because
it's not. You know it's going to happen.
In the very first trailer, or the second trailer where you have the Jean Grey narration at the front, it's hinted at. There's been a bunch of articles coming out, but the next X-Men movie they want to do is about the Phoenix. So.
It's also going to be in the 90s.
Yeah.
It was seriously
they skip
when the Phoenix and the light, and seriously they took. It was exactly a picture from one of the comics.
Oh,
I mean,
cool.
not even.
They recreated that.
It was awesome.
Nerd.
So you.
So.
No, I don't read books.
What?
You sent those two thingies about our next thing.
I read.
No.
I read.
Reviews.
Anyway, speaking of comic books and X-Men, did either of you start reading the Uncanny X-Men I gave you?
I have it.
Not yet.
I'm going to need one of you to start reading that.
It's
so
on
we
my
can have
bedside
conversations
table.
about this.
And I definitely want to read it.
Okay.
Just read a little bit before you go
I'm going
back.
to read it.
Yeah.
It's just a fact of opening it.
Okay, so that's pretty easily done.
Once you take the plunge, there's no going back.
It's a really hard skill that you kind of have to learn.
We can go over opening books.
In school.
We can go over opening books before
you have to learn.
I haven't been in school in 2 years now, and I've just forgotten a lot of those skills.
I'm trying to get them to read the Uncanny X-Men Oh, I can't even think of the art name right now. It's the precursor to Battle of the Atom. So
Oh, cool.
So
for anyone who's a big old X-Men.
Oh yeah, Maddie,
fan.
what was your thoughts on X-Men Apocalypse? So Sarah really liked it.
I enjoyed watching,
and it looked like a comic book movie. Good
It was
action.
fun to watch.
Yeah.
I, to an extent, probably agree with where Robbie's going at least a little bit, because I know we've talked about this. If you're looking for an amazing story with a great plot and all that, it's not there. It's not there.
All right,
but it's fun to watch.
Give me 120 seconds. All right.
No, we don't have 100 seconds. You go now.
120 seconds. It's 2 minutes. Just give me 2 minutes.
to get
yeah, okay, and
You're
go.
good.
All right, here we go. Okay, so here's my thing. When you leave the theater after watching X-Men Age of Apocalypse, if you're a nerd, if you grew up on the series and whatever, right? You leave the theater and you're like, oh my god, that was amazing! Psylocke, oh my god, Angel, Nightcrawler, Jean Grey,
Jubilee.
Scott Summers,
Wolverine!
Wolverine.
He's not in it.
Whatever. Magneto, Apocalypse,
Havoc to an extent.
Spider-Man.
No, stop it. So you leave the theater and you're just like, wow, this was amazing. There's just so much action, this, and that.
Yeah.
And the inner, version of you in the 90s when you were, watching the cartoon show and you loved watching it.
Great show.
And all of that stuff, that part of you comes out and you're like, hells yes, this was amazing. I love this movie. And then a couple hours go by. A day goes by. And you think about it because, memories, brain things, science and stuff, the brain starts thinking.
Oh, you start thinking again.
So you start thinking, and that's kind of what ruins it for you because you're like, why did Apocalypse look so idiotic?
Oh man.
And you're like, okay, and then you're like, why did Magneto become a nice guy?
Oh no.
So why did they have to You care about spoilers?
No.
Why did they have to go and kill Angel in such an idiotic way?
Again?
And waste Havoc.
Why did they have to waste Havoc in an even dumber
Done.
way?
Really?
Done.
Oh.
No more Havoc.
So the problem, it sounds like then, so the problem for you was mostly
My brain.
The,
was
the,
mostly
well,
my
the-
problem.
He went under.
So the
It's not done yet.
so the
Not
character
done.
yeah,
Oh.
so the
Well,
characterizations
I
weren't as solid as they should have been.
Right.
But-
I guess the bigger thing is, right? You know,
Yeah.
as we get older,
Yeah.
we think, we have experience, we take like me for example. I went to film school, right? I studied
Sorry.
film, whatever the hell that means.
Wasted that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
part of that,
that's why I laughed.
not problem, but part of that experience is that you look for things, right? You judge things and you compare it to other things.
Fairly or unfairly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing with me, and I think it comes down to this whole the comic book genre, right? To Sarah's point, yes, it's a comic book movie, right? But at the same time of it being a comic book movie, it's still a film, right? We have movies like There Will Be Blood, which is one of my favorite dramatic films. It's a film that I would be okay to put on and watch again.
Mm-hmm.
There is no comic book movie in the last 2 years that has come out that I would be like, oh, you want to go put that on and watch it again?
Civil War?
Civil War, I'm like,
Maybe.
Guardians? Is there anything else to watch?
Wait, Guardians of the Galaxy?
Guardians, yes.
Okay.
Winter
That's-
Soldier?
Because it's
Winter
way
Soldier.
more comedy, though. That's
Mm.
Guardians
Yeah,
is
sure.
comedy.
It's a different
That's a
style
different
of
thing.
Right, but that's my whole thing is, and I was telling Sarah, is when you break down the whole idea of a good movie, to me, and this is to me, I'm not implying or telling you this is how it should be.
Yeah.
To me, a good movie, the number one thing for a good movie is repeatability.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, do I want to watch it again in a month?
And for X-Men Apocalypse, for you, it's a resounding no.
No. If somebody was like, hey, I will take you to the movies to watch this again for free, no cost to you, you just have to sit there and watch it, I'd be like, can we go do something else? Maybe I could clean the apartment. I'd rather do
Oh my
that
God.
than
Wow.
watch it
That
again.
says a lot. That says a
and that's
lot,
just
yeah.
because it's I know what's happening. I'm not the second time won't be as entertaining.
I
The
see.
first time they
Yeah.
did a great job.
Yeah.
It is a truly, it's like the first time you see it, wow, that's awesome. This
Visually
is
spectacular.
nostalgia, visually it's awesome, blah, et cetera, et cetera. But repeatability, Nothing.
Interesting.
Nothing.
No, I like that. I think you've captured the feeling of a lot of people. So if anyone else has anything to add on for X-Men Apocalypse,
I just want to add one thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting. Christian and I were actually talking throughout the week about seeing the movie.
And you never did.
And we didn't.
Just-
I'm going to see it at some point this week. But Christian, I think I would actually like it if you brought up the reason, your reasoning behind why you don't want to see it, and some of kind of your stuff.
The reason I don't want to see it is because I need a break from the superhero movies. We've seen Deadpool, we saw Batman vs Superman, and we saw Captain America Civil War all in this year, and it's May. And there's still Doctor Strange to come out. There's still Suicide Squad. So I'm just feeling, I think, the fatigue of that genre. And I think, to go to your point, I'm sort of already know what to expect. And so literally I'm going to go see it, but I'm literally going to wait a month so I can give myself some room between seeing Civil War, which I love, by the way, and I saw it twice last month, but I need to give myself a break to get away from that genre. I like to watch something else in the meantime, if that, on Netflix or something, just to get my mind out of that genre.
But isn't that, to a degree,
That's superhero fatigue?
It's not even that, but
Yeah.
that's kind of the problem with Hollywood cinema right now.
Just
is
pumping it out.
Not only they're pumping out, but that's what they're blasting in your face, and that's what the big hits are, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, we could break this down to a number of different things, but I think at its core, to go to see a movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if we were like, right now, let's go see a movie, we would each be spending about $15 right now to go see a movie.
On the cheap side, if it's
that's
on the cheap side.
if it's during the day.
Your gut feeling is going to be, I want to see something visually impressive, right?
That's what you want to go
Why
to the
would
theater
I
for,
like? Why would I spend $15 to see a dramatic film in the theater when I could see a dramatic film in my home?
Yeah.
On Netflix or something.
Right.
And that's part of the problem, is because Hollywood and all the major studios, that's what they're blasting out, major visually.
But that's
goodness.
But that's been the problem with Hollywood since the beginning. It was the Western before. It was
Right.
the horror genre. It's been noir
The Hollywood
movies.
musical.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Busby Berkeley.
Vampires.
All started.
Vampires?
Yeah.
I'm going to kill
So
whoever
I
started that
definitely
one.
think. I mean, that's the problem with business in general, right? If something's working, you're just going to blast it out until it doesn't work, and then you try and figure out something else, and then you go bankrupt.
So where do we feel? I guess that like you said, the superhero genre is in full swing. Every other month, we're getting a new superhero.
We're getting close to that timeline.
Yeah.
Oh, every other month almost.
Well, we got
Seems
6
right.
this year, so you could basically. I mean,
Yeah.
some are closer than every other month,
Right, yeah.
essentially.
But it
No, I
averages.
mean,
So,
it is blockbuster season.
how do we feel about science fiction? Star Trek, Star Wars, being the big two names.
Those are starting to blend together. a
So
little bit as well.
so would you consider that in
part
the
of
same?
yeah.
Even
I
Rogue
would.
One though.
Rogue One.
Rogue One coming out in
we have to see
December.
it. We have to see it.
How much have you looked into about it?
Not much. I mean, all I know is the trailer. The trailer or the teaser that came out, which looked amazing. I can't wait for it, but we'll see. We'll see what comes out. It looks interesting.
I'm definitely excited.
We did when we went to Celebration last year, Star Wars Celebration last year,
Yeah.
and we actually sat in on the Rogue One panel with Gareth. Is it Gareth Edwards, the director, who is a huge Star Wars nerd and is like that kind of you gotta love it when a Star Wars nerd is directing a Star Wars movie. You just have to
Absolutely.
there's a lot of love there, but what they talked about was that it's not there's no like the Force and Jedi and all of that, not really a thing in this. It's not a thing in this. It's not. This is a war movie.
Right.
A lot of the production, a lot of the people that are in on the production are people that worked on other war movies, Black Hawk Down,
Saving Private Ryan.
Zero Dark
Whoa,
30,
okay.
Saving Private Ryan, those kinds. So it's going to be
Interesting.
really interesting.
Yeah.
But
So this will be the
But it's
first
still
Star Wars
Star- I
movie.
mean-
I want to say this though. We should stop giving Christian that kind of info, because if he's not looking into it, I want you to go
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
that's-
yeah.
I can
It's
do.
definitely
You
a
know
good,
what?
yeah.
Why don't we make it a little bit of a? Why don't we make that movie a little bit of an experiment?
Yeah.
Half of us learn everything because they're interested,
Well,
and then the other half we don't see any more teasers, trailers, and no more. reading.
I have a better idea.
I'll be the person who doesn't do it.
You research it, you love it, and everything.
I'll do
know
nothing.
nothing about it, and me, I will somehow cameo in the movie myself.
You're in the movie. Okay.
If you can cameo in that movie,
Wait, it's already been made, isn't it?
I'll give you the Zapdos.
Isn't it
card.
coming out this December?
We do not have enough time for this for you to be explained.
Just know it's an ongoing thing,
Just
and I'm sure we'll
know, if
explain in the
Arjuna
future.
Ramgopal is in Star Wars Rogue One in December when it's released theatrically,
It's already been shot. You know?
I will give you
Exactly.
the Zapdos card.
So how are you prepared?
We'll be bringing a LuZo Productions
shake on it.
exclusive explaining
Wait, what's he gonna give you if he doesn't appear?
what happened to this
He doesn't give me anything.
Oh, well then that card's just staying with him. It's a Pokemon card, but anyways,
There's
let's
Everyone knows what Zapdos is.
yeah. So staying within not everyone.
No, everyone doesn't.
So staying
Thank
within
goodness.
the superhero genre, let's segue into the
Static Shock.
other big. No, that's something.
No.
There's a lot of stuff we could say about that. We're not gonna go
No.
there. Captain America,
From superhero
Hail.
to superhero.
Hail Hydra. So, Ravi is the one who sort of at least let me know about this because I do not read the comic books, but this is sort of a like a ripple effect through the Marvel universe, and no matter where you stand on superhero fatigue and movies and all that stuff, that's sort of a big deal.
If I may, I
Please.
think it's a big deal because Captain America was introduced around the
40s. He's 75 years old.
late
Around this
40s,
year.
late 50s, or early 50s, and he's an American icon.
Yes.
And you have an American icon.
There was
who is-
Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Superman and Captain America. I mean,
It was the
everybody.
40s. Early 40s.
Early
mid
40s.
So World War II.
So everybody knows it.
World War I.
And
Shit.
he's now blasting out things like Hail Hydra.
Time.
Blast. Well, isn't it just like one little speech bubble? Is that what everyone's
It's
going
all-
crazy over?
So the comic. Once again, spoilers.
Yeah.
For,
Huge
for
spoilers.
Captain America. I forget the title.
It's
but
Captain America, Steve Rogers.
number
Volume 1.
Volume 1.
Oh, this is
Which
a new
I
comic
want to
book.
It's
go.
a new
Yeah,
comic
it's a
book.
new
Oh.
art,
So
which
to-
I want to go buy this week, just so everyone
Sure.
knows. I'm going to go buy it this week, and I want to go to local
So-
comic book shops.
Right. So in
Right.
this series, before this event, Captain America has lost his superhero serum powers, right? And he's passed the torch on to Sam Wilson, who is the Falcon.
Right.
Sam Wilson in this particular story arc is now Captain America. Captain America gets his powers back by. Do we remember her name?
Kubrick.
Corbett?
Corbick. Yeah.
She gets
Corbett, yeah.
he gives the powers back, and he's now Captain America, and that's the beginning of this first. And now this is the first comic in his new series with now his powers back and him as Captain America. He's got a different shield because Sam Wilson has the original Captain America shield. The big thing here in the comic is there are a lot of flashbacks. A lot of flashbacks to when Steve was a kid, like 12, 13 years old essentially.
Yeah.
And we see his mom kind of get introduced to Hydra through propaganda media, flyers, and meeting with people and so forth.
Yeah,
Specifically a woman.
Right, in a lot of the flashback panels, she's the only one that's depicted in color and red.
Well, parts of her
Right,
are
exactly.
depicted in color, in the color red.
Which is a cool theory about, which you sent us.
Right. Which is that, so essentially it breaks down to, so Marvel came out with a statement the day of saying something along the lines of, he's always been a Hydra agent. This isn't mind control. This isn't shape shifting.
Yeah, basically, it is actually Steve Rogers.
Right. But then a lot of, fans and comic book fans have come out and, have brought up a number of different facts from Uncanny X-Men,
Avengers
all
versus
the way
X-Men
back
actually
to,
is, I think, what's
Thanos and the Infinity Stones. The big thing being, the big thing being the cosmic cube, and how the cosmic cube can alter reality. So that's the big thing there.
Cool.
Yeah.
I wish I knew more about it, to be honest. So
I think
could
honestly,
say more, but I don't. So it's pretty.
I think we're on.
it's very early
yeah.
stages of it, right?
Yeah, that was the first
Oh
episode.
yeah, it's the first issue. And
Every
so,
week's gonna be interesting.
Nice. Yeah.
So like I said, I want to go this week to. There are a couple of different like local comic shops that we tend to go to, and I'm gonna go to one of them and grab it, and I want to read it. I mean, I will put down my Uncanny X-Men for just a little while and read the Captain America Steve Rogers, because I want to read it, and I'll get. I suppose does the second issue come out yet or what?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll see.
Cool. So we did actually get a comment. Someone asked, what is everyone's opinion of Lego Marvel superheroes?
I actually know who commented. It's my friend Greg. It's a game.
Greg.
It's a game we played before together. There's a long history behind it that I can't go into. But I will just say this: the game file repaired itself. Let's just say that it was an act of the PlayStation gods.
Or possibly an act of now we know Hydra.
Real quick though, as we're bringing up Lego Marvel, I just want to give them a quick shout out.
Yeah.
Really?
Just because they're one of the only few games, along with like Grand Theft Auto, that release free, awesome update packs.
Yeah.
They do, as the movies come out, they give good, free, updated packs.
Right.
They don't cost money. I think that's awesome. They deserve a quick shout out.
No,
We
like
need to
season
put our-
pass that costs the same amount.
Season
Right, the same
pass,
amount of game.
Destiny,
So
Star Wars,
so
Battle
many
Front.
games.
Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indiana
EA.
Jones.
What?
EA games. What?
But
Indiana Jones: The Fate of Atlantis.
But
So yeah, any more? So any other thoughts on the Hail Hydra Captain
Yes.
America?
I want to wait and see.
I have one.
The big thing,
Yeah,
the
wait and
big,
see.
the big thing here is, as soon as it came out, I texted you all some very colorful words. I don't know if you remember.
I do because
Um,
I sent the initial article. I think.
Marvel's kind of doing what TV shows are now doing, which is shock value. The number one show for shock value is The Walking Dead. And I feel this move on Marvel's part is shock value.
Oh no.
I don't think it's really that well pre-whatever.
You don't think so? They
No.
do a pretty good job of planning stuff out. That's the impression I'm getting is better than some other things.
I still want to. I want to wait and see. And
Yeah.
that's the thing is I will put this out. I will buy the comic. I will buy it. I will read it. You guys can read when I'm done.
Yeah, that'd be
you have to
great.
wait till I'm done. But
No,
you
that's
you know
fair.
I'll pass it around and then whatever.
I'm not a big fan of it, just to finish it off real quick, because I think it's a lose-lose in terms of,
LuZo?
well,
It is LuZo. No.
It's a
so
Luzo.
I think it's a lose-lose because you've done it, and if you keep it, nothing in comics is permanent anyway, but you do it, you anger a lot of fans, you reverse it, and you still anger a lot of fans because you reverse it. You know what I mean? It's like,
Well, yeah, you
there's
can't
no...
win. You can't please everyone.
And that's what I think the problem with doing something like that is, because it is like you basically took a character who is so against this
Thing.
Hydra and everything, and like that's for the whole I feel like the whole history, probably the whole history of Captain America that predates all of us, right? The comic, it's been not for Hydra, always fighting it, and now you have all of a sudden the Hail Hydra thing, and it's going to be undone in about in comic book time probably about a year, right? In 1 year from now, so 2017 May 29th, he will no longer be a Hydra agent, most likely.
Nice.
And I just feel like doing something like that, kind of like Ravi was saying, is the shock value. But I just, there's no win. There's no winning for the writers and for the comic itself, and it's just going to do damage, I think.
I don't think it's going to do damage. I mean, here's the thing: is comics, like you said, nothing is permanent, and at some point they just end up rebooting anyway. So it's like a giant soap opera that's been written for, well, Captain America, 75 years. He's been going on for 75 years. They'll say something, and then all of a sudden, not in Captain America necessarily, but comics. I mean, they'll happen. DC rebooted the whole universe.
Oh my God. Pull the plug.
It
Restart.
happens, and the reason I say it's like a soap opera is that in the 80s they had Dallas, an entire season of the soap opera, the evening soap opera Dallas, that they did at the end of the season. It was the dream of one of the characters. It was the whole season was a dream. JR.
Basically, The Flash season 3.
And now we roll to
Good segue right there, because we can quickly...
Yeah, let's wrap up real quick. So I don't watch these shows. This is gonna be all you guys. Flash and Arrow season finale.
let me do it perfectly.
Go.
Arrow season finale, stupid. The show is dead to me. Flash season finale, amazing. They're doing... well, not amazing, but I like that they're doing Flashpoint.
All right,
I like that that's how they kind of ended it.
So
I liked it.
those are each of our thoughts on it. So I want to say too. Arrow, I'm just like, come on. Okay,
So
fine.
bad.
Oliver is now the mayor. Okay, whoop-de-doo. Everybody left him, but I mean, seriously.
Hashtag whoop-de-doo.
Hashtag whoop-de-doo. Everyone left him except for Felicity, who left him earlier and is now back. And what? It's like, just stop. Just I don't know. Anyway, I mean, like, even Diggle is now going back into active duty. What is this crap? So I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna keep watching it, but it's a little bit whatever. I mean, I hope they go somewhere really good with it next season. Flash. The only fear I have now, I actually just rewatched Flashpoint Paradox, and if everyone listening and watching hasn't seen it, it was released, what did we say, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Flashpoint Paradox, DC movie, animated feature, released a couple of years ago. It's on Netflix. It basically is where we think they might be going with next season, and it has to do with, at the end of the season, Barry went back and saved his mother. And so Flashpoint Paradox is what happened after he did that in that particular show or that particular film. So if they spend the whole season on the like alternate reality that happened after Flashpoint Paradox, I'm gonna be kind of irritated.
I don't think they will.
I hope they end it after a few episodes or maybe even up to the half of the season.
Well, the problem with it is you have to. Like, how do you explain what's happening there, but then there's no time change in Arrow, Legends, and Supergirl? That's just not during the CW. So I'm sure there's going to be some implications, and maybe that's how they bring Supergirl into, like, Earth 1?
Oh, maybe.
Something like that?
You don't think so? I don't know.
So
I
we'll
feel
see.
like the thing is Flashpoint Paradox was great. It was insane, but it also includes the entire Justice League.
Which you don't have.
Which you don't have. You don't have Batman. So you can't go back and see what, all that is.
Thomas
You don't
Wayne?
have Superman. Yeah, Batman's dad.
That did sound cool when you were.
You'll need to watch
Thomas
Batman,
Wayne and his
Flashpoint
mom
Paradox.
essentially, Bruce's mom becomes kind of
Bruce
the Joker.
is the one that gets killed
Sick.
in that
Which is
timeline.
kinda like
he
what?
actually got killed instead of his parents. His dad becomes the Batman, and his mother actually becomes the Joker. It's a really the whole thing is cool. Superman, they kept him confined. He was never raised as a human, and so he was kept confined as almost like a science project. Like they watched him.
Just
I mean, it's
by
crazy.
him saving his mom. That's pretty.
Yeah,
awesome.
because all of it
Butterfly
flew off
effect
time.
was best.
Anyway,
Yeah,
people
yeah.
watch.
Don't you know how time works? Come on.
Watch Flashpoint Paradox.
Really?
but
Watch
that
Doctor
said-
Who and it's
like-
Watch
that's
Interstellar.
timey-wimey.
And you'll like.
But that said, they don't have all those storylines to go with because this universe doesn't have Spider-Man and Batman. Sorry, Spider-Man. doesn't have Spider-Man.
doesn't have
I want pictures of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
This
no, not
universe
enough.
doesn't have Superman, Batman.
Gotcha.
The Joker. It doesn't have all of the bigger ones. Wonder Woman, Aquaman. The whole thing is Wonder Woman and Aquaman too. It's
Doc
just
Ock.
insane. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, smarty pants.
Ravi, final thoughts on those season finales?
We don't have time.
We
What?
do.
Yes,
no,
we
wait,
do.
real quick. 2 minutes. We have 2
No,
minutes.
yeah,
Just
go
real
for
quick.
it.
What do you?
Go for
That could be part of your last thoughts.
I like to pause.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I like
Dramatic
to be-
effect.
I like to be dramatic.
How'd you feel about Flash? You liked it.
I liked it.
Okay.
I thought
Flash?
it was a good finale that wrapped up Zoom pretty well and kind of made it maybe into the, I forget what they call him, but it's like the Grim Reaper of Flashes.
Black Flash.
Black Flash, right? So that's kind of cool.
I think I'm
See
gonna
if they
try
do
and
that.
I want to do that as like a cosplay. That'd be kind of fun.
Are you
Flash?
As a Flash, that'd be kind of really cool.
Interesting. And what do you think of Green Arrow?
Green Arrow was garbage. If
Okay.
you're listening to this, what the
I think,
hell are you
I
doing?
think like I said last week with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they need to end Arrow after season 5.
no,
Yeah, they do.
there is so much potential.
No,
there.
I think
There
it's
is
gone.
more
I think
potential, I
it's
agree.
too far gone.
Okay.
I think the show's too
We
far.
got 1 minute and 30 seconds. Final thoughts. Go.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. It's been a great show. It was
Wait, he
good
said
to-
final thoughts. Don't say goodbye.
No, that's- no,
Here,
that's-
this is my final thought.
Yeah, let's do it.
Good to be here live. Greg, in terms of your Lego Marvel superheroes, it was great when I came home and we 100%ed it. It was a long 9-month battle.
Wait, real quick. I'm gonna take 9 seconds out of this. You got to Lego Marvel 100%?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Nice.
We collected all the studs.
Nice.
All right.
Sarah?
Caesar said hi, everybody.
Hi,
I just
Caesar.
noticed that.
What's up?
Hi, Caesar.
What up, yo? I'm just pointing that out. I think I said everything I wanted to say.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I look forward always to next week of Game of Thrones.
Excellent. Last thing, if you enjoyed today's podcast, or even if you didn't, hit us up on Twitter at LuZo Productions or on Facebook.com/LuZo Productions. And if you could just give us some suggestions for shows to talk about, if you have any questions or comments, we'd love to hear from you. But that is about it. I think that's it. Anyone else?
Probably.
We're good to go? Nice.
For the watch.
Yeah, right.
And now I'm going to stay.
Hail Hydra.
No.
Oh.